Cirebon has always been a quiet city, where the hustle and bustle of life seemed far away. But something dark lurked beneath its serene surface. My name is Linda, and this is the story of how my life was turned upside down by a ghostly encounter that I will never forget. It all started with the tragic death of my best friend, Vina. Vina was the kind of person who lit up every room she entered, her laughter infectious and her kindness unmatched. When news of her death reached me, it felt like the world had shattered. The official report said it was a single-vehicle motorcycle accident. She was found on the flyover, her body broken in ways that didn't make sense. The authorities were quick to close the case, labeling it a tragic accident. But Vina's grandmother, Lydia, wasn't convinced. She knew there was more to the story, and so did I. Vina had confided in me about a secret she had stumbled upon. A dark secret that involved powerful people in Cirebon. She had been scared, but determined to uncover the truth. And now she was dead. It couldn't be a coincidence. One night, as I lay in bed, my thoughts tangled with grief and suspicion. I felt a cold presence. The air grew heavy, and I couldn't move. Suddenly, I heard Vina's voice, faint but unmistakable. "Linda, help me," she whispered. My heart pounded in my chest.
Vina,
I asked, my voice trembling. "I don't have much time," she continued. "They killed me. You have to find out who and why before it's too late." Before I could respond, the presence vanished, leaving me gasping for breath. I knew then that Vina's spirit was reaching out to me, and I had to do something. I couldn't let her death go unpunished. I began my investigation the next day, starting with the flyover where Vina's body was found. The place was eerily quiet, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. As I scanned the area, I noticed something odd. A security camera mounted on a nearby building. If it was operational the night Vina died, it might have captured something important. With some effort, I managed to gain access to the security footage. The grainy video showed Vina riding her motorcycle, but then something strange happened. A black SUV appeared, swerving dangerously close to her. The footage cut off abruptly, leaving me with more questions than answers. I knew I needed help, so I reached out to Lydia. She was a woman of strong faith and fierce love for her granddaughter. When I told her about Vina's message, she didn't doubt me for a second. "We need to speak to someone who knows about spirits," Lydia said, her eyes intense. "There's a shaman in the village who might be able to help." The shaman, an old man named Pakwira, listened carefully as I recounted my experience. He nodded slowly, then began chanting in a language I didn't understand. After a few minutes, he looked up, his eyes filled with sorrow. "Vina's spirit is restless," he said. "She was taken from this world before her time. She needs justice." Pakwira performed a ritual to strengthen the connection between Vina and me. That night, Vina appeared in my dreams, more vivid than ever. "They're watching you," she warned. "Be careful." Despite the danger, I pressed on. I visited Vina's old workplace and spoke to her colleagues. Most were tight-lipped, but one young woman, Sari, finally opened up. Vina was investigating something big, Sari whispered. She found out that some powerful people were involved in illegal activities. She said she had proof, but she never told me what it was. Sari's words sent chills down my spine. If Vina had been killed to silence her, then whoever was responsible wouldn't hesitate to come after me. Days turned into weeks as I pieced together Vina's last days. The black SUV from the footage belonged to a local businessman, Pak Anwar, known for his ruthless tactics. He had ties to the underworld and was rumored to be involved in everything from drug trafficking to extortion. One night, as I was going through Vina's belongings, I found a hidden compartment in her diary. Inside was a USB drive. My hands trembled as I plugged it into my computer. It contained documents and videos, all pointing to a massive corruption scandal involving Pak Anwar and several officials. I knew I had to get this information to the authorities, but I also knew I was running out of time. Vina's spirit had said she only had 7 days. I was on the 5th day when things took a turn for the worse. I was driving home when I noticed a car following me. Panic set in, but I tried to stay calm. I took a few sharp turns, hoping to lose them, but they stayed on my tail. Suddenly, they rammed into my car, forcing me off the road. I crashed into a ditch, my head hitting the steering wheel. When I came to, I was in a dark, unfamiliar room. My head throbbed, and my wrists were bound. Pak Anwar stood in front of me, a sinister smile on his face. "You should have stayed out of this, Linda," he said, his voice cold. "But now, you're going to pay the price." Before I could respond, he left the room, and I was alone with my thoughts. Vina's voice echoed in my mind. "Don't give up, Linda. You're so close." Gathering all my strength, I managed to free my hands and escape from the room. I found my way to a phone and called the police, but I knew I couldn't wait for them. I had to act now. I made my way to Pak Anwar's office, where I knew he kept the evidence of his crimes. Breaking in, I found the files and took pictures with my phone. Just as I was about to leave, Pak Anwar and his men burst in. "Going somewhere?" he sneered, pointing a gun at me. Fear gripped me, but I stood my ground. "The police are on their way," I said, hoping it was true. "It's over, Pak Anwar." For a moment, he looked uncertain. Then, the sound of sirens filled the air. He cursed under his breath and fled, his men scattering. I collapsed to the floor, tears of relief streaming down my face. The police arrived and took my statement. With the evidence I had gathered, they arrested Pak Anwar and his associates. Vina's death was finally avenged, and her spirit could rest in peace. In the days that followed, I felt her presence one last time. "Thank you, Linda," she whispered. "You've set me free." And just like that, she was gone. I knew I would never forget her, but I also knew that I had done the right thing. Cirebon was a little safer, and Vina's light would continue to shine through me.
Thank you for watching this chilling mystery tale. Don't let those shadows haunt you tonight. Challenge your fears and find your courage in these yet-to-be unraveled mystery stories. Hit the subscribe, like, and share buttons now to join in on the thrilling adventure.